So, Reeza, thank you so much for working on this project with me. I appreciate it very much, and I've had a lot of fun working with you. So, can you tell me a little bit more about how you got into making video?
It started when I wanted to study filmmaking. One day I saw a poster for AFDA, and I saw that you can study film as a subject, and I was so fascinated by that. I was like, you could study how to make movies, because I had already watched movies, growing up, obviously. And yeah, I just thought, I want to make movies. There was one day I decided to make movies, and yeah, I never looked back. It's like 8 years ago.
And how did you start? Did you go to AFDA and study?
Yeah, so I did have an opportunity to study at AFDA. I got a bursary for my undergrad, and then I finished my honors. So yeah, I got a chance to study at AFDA, moved into freelancing for like a little bit, and then I finally got like a corporate job directing commercials and stuff. So I've been doing that for the last 4 years. And now I find myself, working with you. So yeah, that's very...
So how's it been for you going from corporate to working for me on a project like this?
I must say, it's much more fulfilling. I think we spoke about this earlier.
Yes.
Corporate, it seems to be, I don't know, it just seems like I'm never seeing the people I'm selling products to. I don't really know, who they are, what they're going through.
Yes.
And whereas a project like this is, I'm out on the ground with the people, seeing their spaces, seeing where they operate, and hearing like from them firsthand how they operate.
Yes.
I think it's more realistic for me. It's more like tangible. I can see the change. I can see what's happening. So I think it's much more. Yeah, it's a little bit more fulfilling, I think, in a sense. Yeah.
So if I hear you correctly, you're a people person, and you find the stories about the people very interesting.
Absolutely. I think that's actually why. Yeah, I think that's why I got into film. I don't think it's because I was watching movies. I think it's because I'm fascinated by stories and just people in general. I think people have amazing stories to tell, and I think film is one of those ways where you can express that story the way it's supposed to be, told and experienced as well.
Yes. Yes. So is it important to you to tell an authentic story?
Yes, 100%. I think Hollywood and the mainstream film industry tends to just regurgitate ideas. But I think it's starting to show now, like Marvel's not performing as well as it was, and I think it's because there's a large gap in their stories. And I think if you tell an authentic story from, an authentic place, it just hits different. It resonates with people differently.
Yes. And when you were a kid, what did you think you'd be when you grew up?
When I was a kid, I won't lie, my first job I wanted to be as a kid, I wanted to wash windows at the garage. I thought those guys were amazing, man. I was like, those guys, I want to wash those windows every day, get paid for that. But I thought for a while it would be soccer. But throughout those entire, thoughts and periods of my life, I've been creating and writing. And so I had no idea, actually, to be honest with you.
So you're a writer first and foremost?
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm a writer.
Okay. And have you ever thought of publishing books?
Books, not so much. I'm trained in script writing, screenwriting. But yeah, a novel interests me. I think I need to first get like a couple of movies out. I think that's like what my burning passion is at this point in time. Yeah.
And what are your favorite kinds of scripts?
I like scripts that have something very emotionally charged. And then also I just need a little bit of like madness, just to keep my brain working overtime a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I like very touching, moving, emotional stories. I won't lie. But a little mind-boggling things get me going as well. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time, I'm definitely going to be making movies. yeah, and that's exactly where I see
You're on a
myself.
trajectory. This is
Yeah.
a career. You're doing it now.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I've been doing it. I've been doing it now for 8 years.
Yes.
Well, just I think sharpening my tools.
Yes.
You know, learning about the industry, learning
Yes.
about a camera. You know, learning
Yes.
how to work with people. And I think, yeah, everything happens in its own time. And I think this is something that I want to do. So I think I'm going to eventually end up doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for doing it with me.
Thank you, Melanie.
So, what have you found interesting about working on this project?
On this project, it's been a completely new world for me. Like, firstly, from just Facebook as a platform,
Okay.
the sheer interactive nature of it, I was completely unaware of
Okay.
how interactive the platform actually is.
So you haven't been using it?
I have not been using Facebook, but
Okay.
I have to now. I have
do?
to now. I
You
see
feel
the
that-
power. Yeah,
have
I
you
see the
changed your
power.
mind?
I have changed my mind completely. On the
Okay.
second day when we spoke about it, I was like, wow, I need to be on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's one aspect, is just the power of Facebook and its interactive nature. Second is that there's a lot of good people in this world that are willing to volunteer their time, like just to help people out, dude. Like
Yes.
that's been mind-blowing for me, because yeah, I've been thinking about, you know, volunteering, like where do I go, like go to the old age home,
Yes.
you know, some of the homes around my area. But like there's a lot of, there's like a culture around it, you know, which gets me
Yes.
like a little bit more excited. I think I'll be able to exploit a little bit more now.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, the fact that there's a large volunteer community in South Africa. And then lastly is like just textiles as like an industry. It's not even like it's not a product yet. It's just the fabrics, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And working with those things to make, I don't know, upcycled goods, and like just, you know, thrifting and all of these new concepts I've been introduced to. I think it's a completely hidden world, I think, from a lot of people.
Yes.
But I think it's one that's completely necessary, just for the sheer impact it has on like the community and the environment also. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So we've opened your eyes to a new world.
Completely so. Yeah.
Amazing. If our crew has had a transformation, then I'm
Yeah.
hoping our viewers will too.
100%. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
your positive energy and intention
Awesome.
in my project. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on board, man.